In today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips to working smarter, but not necessarily harder. We're going to go through some productivity hacks that I think will definitely help you in your day-to-day routine. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jessica, and here on my channel, we focus on all things mom life. So whether that's cooking, cleaning, or finding effective and efficient ways to take care of our families, but everything we do here in my space does have a bit of a healthy twist, as I'm a holistic nutritionist and a nutritional practitioner. I feel like since March, us moms have had to become extremely efficient with our time and find any tips and tricks and hacks to make our days run a little bit more smoothly. And also we've had to become really smart with our day-to-day activities and finding ways to be productive without an extra amount of time. Obviously, when the lockdown happened and all of the schools were closed, everybody was in our homes and we lost a lot of time. At least I know in my days that things became really cramped in a certain period of time, and I had to become as efficient as possible to get all of the tasks done that I needed to do. Likewise, virtual and homeschooling my children and having everybody in the home and cooking all of the meals. So with the change of season and fall being here upon us, it is September 1st when I'm filming this video. I always like to reevaluate my schedule, look at things. To me, the back to school season really feels like the new year, like a refresh, a fresh start. And I like to take the time to evaluate my schedule and evaluate my to-dos and make sure that I'm being as efficient and effective as possible with the little amount of time that I have. So with that, let's jump into my first tip, and that is to track your realistic day and then build a block schedule around that. I've talked about block scheduling in a ton of my videos in the past. I will link those for you up in the cards here, and you can check those out after today's video. But tracking your realistic day and then building a schedule around that will help you become extremely efficient with your time. So I know for myself, when I first became a stay-at-home mom, I would put 8 to 10 things on my to-do list. And I wasn't really aware of the schedule and the time that was actually allotted in my day. I was used to being a working mom and having a set time that was dedicated just to work. Then when I became a stay-at-home mom, I no longer had those set hours and set times to get work done. So what I did is I tracked my day. I looked for patterns throughout my day where there was downtime, whether that of course was in the morning before the kids woke up, during nap time, or when the kids went to bed, and I built block schedules around it. So what I would do is I would block in my morning schedule, things that I had to do and things that I needed to focus on when the kids weren't around. Then during the mid-morning, perhaps when they're around, they're eating breakfast or they're playing independently, I could do other tasks like start my 1 load of laundry a day, unload the dishwasher. I could potentially respond to a couple emails during that time. And I tracked this for 2 weeks. And this is the key. Track it for 2 weeks and write down those pockets of time that you have and dedicate in those small pockets the things that you can do when your kids are around and the things that you can't do when your children are around. And you will see such a huge difference in your day. You won't be multitasking. You won't feel as though you're pulled in a million different directions. I know in my day when I have really important phone calls and emails and tasks that I need to get done, for example, filming this video, I can't do those when my kids are around. So I plan those in my block schedule and in those pockets that I identified during my day that make sense. All right, now that you just spent 2 weeks evaluating your time, why don't we begin to purge? Let's get rid of anything that doesn't add value. If you're not gaining something from a task, then we may need to eliminate it. If these tasks do not have benefits to you in the current stage of your life or in the future, then it's probably something that shouldn't be on your schedule. For example, there's a couple things that I have completely eliminated from my routine that weren't adding the value that I really needed them to do. There was a bunch of behind the scenes business things that I was doing when it came to Instagram and Instagram analytics and a few of the things that I was really heavily spending hours a week doing, and they weren't adding value. So I completely eliminated those tasks. However, then there's other tasks that I have now delegated and I've hired out to have people help me with. For example, video editing, building some of the PowerPoint work for my courses. These are things that I have hired out that have definitely freed up a lot of my time. A great example for you could be whether it's somebody to come into your home once a month to do some of the deep cleaning, or could this be buying vegetables and fruit that is already pre-prepped and pre-washed and pre-chopped? I know it costs a little bit more money, but will that buy you back significant amount of time because your time is of value? So you just need to go through your schedule after you spent those 2 weeks, find pockets or tasks that don't directly gain or give you benefit that you could either 1, eliminate completely, 2, you could delegate, or 3, you could pay a little bit more to have those things taken care of for you. My third tip for working smarter and not harder is to take action, but make it small. Identify the small, most important task that needs to be done and do it inch by inch. So inch by inch is a cinch. Yard by yard, it's way too hard. For me, this has been extremely difficult, and I've had to remove a lot of my perfectionist mindset to get into a flow state. Do you ever notice that sometimes when you sit down to work, or you're cleaning, or you're folding laundry, it'll be effortless? You'll see a huge pile of dishes, but you start to do it and then suddenly the entire kitchen is clean. Or there was 2 to 3 loads of laundry that were sitting in front of you. You're folding 1 or 2 and then suddenly all of it was done. But if you stare at the huge pile of laundry, you stare at the huge pile of dishes, it seems extremely overwhelming. And that's why inch by inch is a cinch, yard by yard, it's way too hard. I notice if I say I'm going to sit down and read the entire book that I want to read for that month, my mind feels completely overwhelmed and shuts down. However, if I say, I'm just going to read 3 pages tonight, suddenly I'm reading 10, 15, 20, because you get that momentum and you get into a flow state. So this tip of working smarter, not harder, is looking at the task and dividing it into small sections and portions. So whether that's doing a fall refresh and cleaning your home, I wouldn't look at it that way. I don't want to say I want to clean my entire house. I say, you know what? I'm going to start with the entryway of my house. I'm going to dust, I'm going to clean the hardwood floors, and I'm going to decorate that. Suddenly it moves into more progress and that flow state happens, and I find myself cleaning and decorating maybe the entire first floor. Then the next day I do the second floor, and so on and so forth. And you'll find yourself getting into these flow states that really help with our overall productivity. My next tip for you is to set the mood. I love to diffuse essential oils, light a beeswax candle, make a cup of tea or a fresh latte for myself. I actually have 2 playlists that I love to use on Spotify when I really need to focus in and get some work done. It's a deep focus and a piano in the background playlist. They help me so much get into that flow state, get my brain feeling relaxed. I feel comfortable, I feel cozy. I've got my candle, my oils diffusing, whether it's tea or a fresh latte, and I can feel myself building the momentum, and the mood in my space has really done that. Another thing that you can do is clean off your desk. Get rid of all of the clutter in your space if you really need to focus in and do some creative or a lot of work on your computer. Whether that's you need to sit down and do a bunch of creative work, reply to a ton of emails, get that really big important task, go through the budget. If you have a beautiful space around you and it sets the mood, it won't seem so overwhelming for you to even start. Likewise, when I'm about to clean, I like to get in a comfortable outfit. I like to diffuse those essential oils. I'll make myself a little latte. I'll turn on a podcast or some invigorating music that will have me feeling pumped and ready to go. But setting the mood around you will really help you get through something faster. I'm going to go ahead and link those 2 playlists for you below. You will find them so relaxing on Spotify. Give them a listen the next time that you need to get some really big, important tasks done. Light your candle, diffuse your oils, make your cup of tea, and then you can let me know in the comment section down below what you were able to get accomplished after you had set the mood and listen to those playlists. Moving on to my very last tip, and I know you've heard this one before, but it is so important that I had to include it, and that is to not multitask. So multitasking overall just leads to lower quality work. And I'm looking to be as efficient with my time as possible. So I want to do high quality work in less time. So if I find myself switch tasking, going back and forth, it's kind of like cooking when your kids are in the kitchen running around at your feet. It takes you twice as long. Now, given in the circumstances in the situation that we're moms, we're busy, we're virtual learning, we're doing all of the things right now. So These are the things that we can't avoid. However, when you do have the opportunity to get ahead of the game and do a few things when you can solely focus on a task, I highly encourage you to do so. If you haven't had a chance to check out my video last week, I will link that for you with the cards up here. Give that a watch after today's video, but I'm doing a meal prep. And in my meal preps, I really focus on the meals that I find myself running around doing a ton of things, whether it's for my kids or for my husband or for myself. And if I do those meal preps a little bit on a Sunday, I can zone in, get through them as quickly as possible. It leaves me feeling ahead for the rest of the week. So if you have the opportunity not to multitask, do higher quality work in less time, then I highly encourage you to do so. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and if you liked this video, let me know by giving it a big thumbs up, and then let me know in the comment section down below. What are your favorite tips and tricks for working smarter and not necessarily working harder? I'm always looking to improve efficiencies around here. I like to be productive. I like to produce high quality things, and I like to do it in the shortest amount of time possible. So I would love to hear your tips down below. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click. That way you don't miss a single video. And I hope to see you back here next Thursday.